This is Alex. Every day he wakes up with one thought: to play at the casino. Every evening after returning from work, he logs on to an online casino site hoping to make easy money. Sometimes luck is on his side, but the outcome is always the same: losses and the complete depletion of his funds. This raises the question, how do casinos manage to so subtly control his actions, leading him to an inevitable result time after time? And what methods do casinos use to keep players like Alex coming back? To understand this, let's travel back in time to the origins of gambling in the Middle Ages. At that time, dice were one of the most popular forms of gambling, enjoyed by knights and commoners alike. Players would place bets on the outcome of a roll, and the dice would be made from various materials, from animal bones to stone and metal. The combinations of numbers that appeared on the dice determined the winner, and the stakes ranged from money to valuable possessions such as weapons and jewelry. In the 17th century, the first gaming houses began appearing in Europe. Venice is considered the birthplace of the modern casino. It was there in 1638 that the first establishment called Ridotto opened. It was created to entertain the local nobility during carnivals, but it soon became a tool of control, allowing the elite to keep gambling under supervision. By the mid-20th century, major casinos in Las Vegas began implementing methods based on psychology and marketing. They realized that the success of an establishment depends not only on the games, but also on how the player feels. Research was conducted to study people's behavior in such environments. The result? Casinos transformed from mere entertainment venues into spaces where every detail, from design to sense, works towards one goal: to keep you there as long as possible. From the very first seconds, casinos strive to create an environment that captivates visitors and makes them forget about time. Interior design, bright lights, and the absence of windows all work together to create a capsule effect, where the outside world seems to disappear. The primary goal is to keep the player there as long as possible, because the longer they stay, the more likely they are to keep betting. Music plays a key role in creating the right atmosphere. Studies show that slow and rhythmic music promotes relaxation and increases the amount of time spent at the establishment. Conversely, more upbeat music can stimulate quick decisions, such as increasing the frequency of bets. That's why casinos carefully curate their playlists, aiming to influence the psychological state of their visitors. Scents also have a significant impact on behavior. Many casinos use specially designed aromas that evoke associations with luxury, comfort, and safety. These scents can reduce stress levels experienced by players after losses and encourage repeat visits. Aroma marketing becomes part of the overall casino brand perception, reinforcing positive emotions in memory. Lighting is another powerful tool of influence. The bright, flashing lights of slot machines not only attract attention, but also stimulate dopamine release, which is associated with feelings of reward. At the same time, relaxation zones are designed with dimmed lighting, creating a sense of privacy and comfort. The contrast between gaming and quiet zones helps balance and satisfy the diverse needs of visitors. The layout of tables, slot machines, and rest areas is the result of meticulous analysis of customer behavior. For example, slot machines are often placed near the entrance to immediately catch visitors' attention. Meanwhile, VIP tables or high-stakes areas are typically located in more secluded corners, creating an exclusive atmosphere. The space is organized to make it convenient for players to move around and stay engaged in the process. However, not all players come to casinos for big wins. They say fortune favors the bold, but sometimes it turns out to be the biggest illusion. Harry Kakavas, a brilliant real estate agent and billionaire, is an example of how a love for gambling can turn into a disaster. With impeccable business acumen, he built his fortune selling luxury real estate in Australia. However, his passion for casinos proved stronger than his common sense. Of course, there are opposite stories where gambling became just a part of a bright life rather than a tragedy. For instance, Kerry Packer, an Australian media magnate and billionaire, was known for his love of gambling. As one of the richest people in the world, he visited casinos more for pleasure and risk than for money. During one of his visits to the MGM Grand, he placed a $250,000 bet and won $40 million. An incredible result even for someone as wealthy as him. In modern times, with the rise of the internet, online casinos have emerged. They use various methods to attract and retain players. These include registration bonuses, free spins, and regular promotions that encourage players to return. Visual and sound effects make games more engaging, while live dealers and streams add the feel of a real casino. All these methods are designed to keep the players on the platform as long as possible. Comparing this to modern methods, we can draw a parallel. If knights in those times relied on their courage and luck to conquer, today's online casinos use psychology and technology to keep players engaged. The methods used by online casinos are like the new stakes, but now they bet not on honor, but on player involvement. What was once chance and risk has now become a well-thought-out system with sophisticated methods to keep players in the game as long as possible. The thrill remains the same, but the methods of controlling it have become far more refined and technological.